In this video, we will go over the ability to add extra pay and accessorials to a load. As you can see, they will be in these two sections here and potentially cross-reference and link to each other. So you'll have an extra pay here under the driver detail as well as an accessorial detail here under the customer section. So you can click on these little pencils in order to add and or edit. So if we wanted to click on this one, we will be going to this new intermediate window where you are going to be able to add your first accessorial or extra pay. So we have a series of default types that you can select one here. You can add a quantity if it is something to be multiple of and calculated. Let's say your detention at an hourly rate. You can input that here as a quantity. So for this one, we're going to input 1. You'll have your amount. Again, if you adjust it, as you can see, the total changes. And then you are going to be selecting a checkbox to show what this transaction is going to be tied to. If it's just going to be charging to your customer, that would be a scenario for a typical accessorial that would be included on the invoice. But if it is something that is to be paid out to the driver, that would increase their settlement and or deduct from the driver, you will have an ability to select one of those, and then if you need to adjust the amount, that would differ. As you can see, it's auto copied, but we can adjust to have a different amount if needed for the customer and or driver facing section. You'll have a note section to put in any additional details, and then when you click on the plus button at the bottom right, that will then add it here to then be historically visible. You can add an additional one if there are more, edit the existing with the pencil there, or delete it by clicking on the red garbage can. As you can see, when we have added this accessorial, you now see that based off of our selections, that is now $150 more to the customer and $100 less for the driver. So again, we can make any adjustments here by clicking on the pencil and then adjusting any existing, as you can see. So if we save that there, as you can see now, that has adjusted that driver facing part of that transaction to not be there anymore. So bear in mind that those will also be included in the driver settlement if they are tied to that specific driver as any additional earning or deduction.